guys. I'm back in my compost pile. And for those of you who've just joined in, I do my compost. I've never added any kind of composting, organic composting starter. But today we're going to use it because Reg, the best shopper I know.
I found it on sale.
He found it on sale.
And I'm a sucker for sale.
Yeah. We're not sponsored by Espoma, but we're going to use this compost starter and see if our compost decomposes quicker. This is how I've always done it, Reg, and you know this. I just throw my stuff. I do try and cut it up in smaller pieces, but all of my clippings, like what you're seeing here, are I did some trimming on the lilac tree above us. I just did our Japanese maple, and I do try and cut it up in small pieces.
But still, it's the wood.
The heavy wood.
The heavy wood, like you can see here in this pile.
Okay, so how I do my compost every fall, let's do it this way. This has been composted compost, and I'm almost out of it. This was from 2 years ago, because how this works is, last fall, I moved everything out of this pile. This is the fresh pile that was started end of winter with the cleanup. And it goes, this is completely cleaned up from last winter because it all went over here by fall. And this will become my spring compost. And look at that. You know, one thing about compost, it's not dirt. It is decomposed food scraps and tree limbs. And you can see this is still decomposing. This is probably from the grasses. And so anyhow, this is all from 2023, from the end of winter, spring cleanup. This is just from where I've been cutting back, like I said, the trees, the lilac trees, when I did the pruning of the asters, all of my tulip clean off and daffodils, and then any scraps from the kitchen, but I do not add any meat products at all, or animal waste. My cat, if I had a dog, none of that. If I had composted manure, sure. Chicken manure, sure. But otherwise, it's your fruits, your vegetables, and nothing really cooked either. But all the skins off of anything go in here.
And shredded paper.
And shredded paper. We have a lot of shredded paper in this. Thanks, Reg. So this is this year's compost. This was last year's compost, which is almost ready to be used. And in the years past, I have always just put, even if there's little pieces of wood in it, I put it as my top dressing and as I plant things, because it'll still decompose in the soil. But today we are using this product, which Reggie found on sale, the Organic Espoma Compost Starter. In it, what it'll do, it'll increase my compost of time. It says 2 to 3 months. In this are hundreds. I think it even says it's how many? Millions. Compost starter contains billions, Reg, billions of microbes, specially cultured to speed the decomposition of difficult to compost organic matter. And it also has microbes that heat the pile up, which also creates a faster decomposition of heavier materials. And you only need a cupful for a 4x4, which is about what I have here. Every time I put a new layer on, I will add a cupful and wet a dip, just moisten it, but don't saturate it. Yeah. And so this is an experiment because it was on sale and I told Reg I would try it. So we're going to try that. But let me just finish cutting up these pieces a little smaller. Like I said, I don't always go through and cut this up, and I have been very diligent. The other thing with the compost pile is you want to turn it regularly. I wasn't always a regular compost turner until I haven't had to work a full-time job for 3 years, and now I can get in here at least once a month. They recommend once a week. I probably am not that person to do it once a week. We'll see how it works on my schedule, whatever that is. Maybe I'll do it once a week, but I've never done it that way, and always have wonderful soil to use around my flowers. Whenever I plant anything, my soil is pretty good, but I will throw my compost around most of my plants. I try not to fertilize much. I plant everything with biotone for a good root starter. My perennials, annuals, I don't. Some people do, I don't. But as I've gardened, I've learned that these wonderful organic products do work. I've always been organic. I've never really used any synthetics in my gardens, never need to. I'm very patient to let things happen. That smells good. So this is that lace leaf Japanese maple that I trimmed, and we're going to give it a little haircut, and we'll see how this works. So what we're going to do, I was in here earlier turning and stirring, because you want to leave a little bit of a center in your compost pile, which I do. And I'm going to sprinkle a cupful on top of this, water it in, and that's paper towels, eggshells, those types of things are in here. So we'll give it a try. Is it necessary? I'll know by come October. If come October, it's better than this pile that's been sitting now since last October, we'll know that it maybe might be worth buying it on sale. Yeah. Anyhow, I've gone ahead and taken my solo cup, marked where a cup is. I didn't want to waste any of my good cups, measuring cups. So we'll pour that in. Just a cup. It says use gloves if you have them when you use this product. You can see that's just a cup. And I'm going to sprinkle it evenly over my 4x4. Seems like, could that really make a difference? Are there a billion microbes in that? I'm not doubting, but I'm curious. And now I'm just going to water that in. And if this makes a difference, Reg, you can always shop. We're going to get rain this week too, hopefully. Hopefully. We started getting rain again. Not too much. The rain barrel's full. So I'm just watering that in. My compost pile has never had an odor when I've stirred it, which is an indication that you have equal parts of what it takes to decompose things. It's not just rotting, that it's heating up. It's killing all of the stinky smells and the seeds, and it is decomposing. So that's what I'm going to do. I watered it in. I've got a few things I'll be cutting off in the next week. I'll put that on top. I will probably wait to put another cup on till I do a little more removal of spring foliage that I'm cutting back. But and I do add I do add grass clippings and leaves. And you can look up composting, but I've always composted it. You don't have to have it fenced in. I like it fenced in so we don't have to see it. It doesn't have to be elaborate at all. I've never done anything for the most part except piling stuff up, turning it, and walking away. But it's wonderful for the garden. Like I said, that's all I ever use. So that's using for the first time a compost starter. And there's many varieties out there. Like I said, Reggie just saw this on sale and we tried it, and we do use the Espoma organic products. But anyhow, thanks for watching Gardening on the West Fork. There's plenty of stuff coming up. Hit that bell and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.